For decades, the Soviet Union projected the image of strength, unity, and ideological perfection. But behind the Iron Curtain, something far darker was at work. An organization so secretive that even Soviet citizens feared whispering its name. The KGB, officially known as the Committee for State Security, the KGB was far more than an intelligence agency. It was a hidden empire, conducting psychological warfare, mind control experiments, biological weapons research, paranormal investigations, and operations that blurred the line between science and horror. Many of its programs were erased from records. Others were buried beneath layers of classified files, or destroyed entirely when the Soviet Union collapsed. But fragments survived. Defectors spoke, documents leaked, and witnesses disappeared. Tonight, we uncover the top 10 secret programs of the KGB. Projects so disturbing, so controversial, that even today, the full truth may never be known. I simply be sleeping, waiting, because the most dangerous secrets are not the ones we uncover, but the ones we're never allowed to find. Number 10. Operation Oracle. Weaponized precognition. The KGB believed the future could be observed. Not predicted by statistics, but seen the future. Operation Oracle recruited individuals who claimed spontaneous visions of future events. They were tested relentlessly. Subjects were isolated for months, deprived of time references, exposed to sensory deprivation chambers. When a subject made a correct prediction, even a minor one, the KGB escalated the experiments. Reports claim that some individuals correctly foresaw aircraft crashes, industrial accidents, political assassinations. Instead of protection, these individuals were treated as strategic assets. One defector claimed the KGB attempted to induce future visions through extreme stress, electroneural stimulation, psychoactive compounds. Most subjects broke. A few allegedly succeeded. What happened to them afterward remains unknown. Number 9. Psychic Assassination Program. Death without a weapon. One of the most disturbing allegations surrounding the KGB involves attempts to kill using thought alone. This project explored whether intense mental focus, guided emotional states, and biofeedback amplification could cause physical harm to a distant target. The logic was simple. If stress can kill, can stress be induced remotely? Psychics were instructed to visualize targets experiencing heart failure, respiratory collapse, sudden panic. Whether any deaths were conclusively caused this way is impossible to prove. But several Western intelligence officers died suddenly under unexplained circumstances. No poison, no trauma, no evidence. Only coincidence. Or something else. Number 8. The Sleeper Signal. Subconscious Trigger Program. This program focused on activating hidden behaviors buried deep within the human subconscious. Subjects were conditioned over months using hypnotic suggestion, repetitive audio patterns, emotional trauma reinforcement. A specific sound, phrase, or frequency would act as a trigger. Upon activation, the subject could enter a dissociative state, follow instructions with no memory afterward, experience hallucinations or terror. The KGB believed entire populations could be influenced this way through radio broadcasts, television signals, public address systems. The project was allegedly halted after multiple test subjects entered permanent catatonia, or so the records claim. Number 7. UFO Dossier Z. Non-human intelligence files. Contrary to public denial, the KGB maintained extensive files on unidentified aerial phenomena. Pilots, radar operators, and cosmonauts were ordered to report sightings under threat of imprisonment. Some encounters described objects moving without propulsion, craft entering oceans and emerging elsewhere, beings communicating directly into the mind. One leaked document refers to non-biological observers monitoring Soviet nuclear facilities. The KGB feared not invasion, but surveillance. What disturbed them most was the belief that these entities were not hostile, just watching, waiting. Number 6. Operation Mirror Mind, Split Consciousness. This program attempted to separate consciousness into parallel awareness streams. Subjects were placed in sensory isolation while exposed to rhythmic light pulses and sound frequencies. Some reported observing themselves from outside the body, hearing thoughts that did not feel like their own, existing in two mental locations at once that are in this experiment. KGB neuroscientists theorized that consciousness could be partitioned. One part could experience reality, the other could be controlled. Several subjects reportedly began speaking in unknown languages. Others claimed to receive information they could not have known. The program was quietly shut down after multiple unexplained deaths. Number 5. The Black Monk Initiative, Soviet Occultism. Despite its atheistic ideology, the Soviet Union secretly investigated ancient occult traditions. The Black Monk Initiative explored the Tibetan rituals, Siberian shamanism, pre-Christian Slavic practices. The goal was not belief, but power. KGB documents suggest rituals were studied as psychological tools capable of inducing extreme obedience, fear, or altered states of consciousness. One account describes a ritual performed on political prisoners that resulted in total emotional shutdown, loss of identity, and absolute submission. Whether this was occult or advanced psychological manipulation remains debated. The KGB didn't care. If it worked, it stayed. Number 4. Time slip experiment, temporal dislocation. Several KGB research facilities reportedly investigated time distortion phenomena. Subjects exposed to electromagnetic fields claim they experience hours within minutes, lose entire days of memory, re-enter moments repeatedly. One experiment allegedly caused a subject to age rapidly over a short period. Another claimed to witness events from their childhood with impossible clarity, while physically restrained in a lab. Official explanations cite neurological trauma. Unofficial theories suggest the KGB was probing localized temporal anomalies. Time as a weapon. Number 3. Remote Viewing Directorate. Seeing without eyes. Perhaps the most well-documented paranormal project involved remote viewing. Trained individuals were tasked with describing distant locations they had never visited. Submarine bases, missile silos, underground facilities. Accuracy rates reportedly improved over time. The KGB cross-referenced descriptions with satellite intelligence. Enough matches occurred to keep the program funded for years. Some remote viewers claimed the hardest targets were not human-made. They described structures that felt ancient, non-terrestrial, actively hostile. Several viewers refused to continue. They said something was watching them back. Number 2. Human soul transference, identity experiments. One of the most disturbing alleged programs involved attempts to transfer consciousness or identity. The theory proposed that the self could be detached and implanted elsewhere. Subjects underwent prolonged isolation, identity erasure, forced dissociation. Some began claiming they were no longer themselves. Others believed foreign memories had been implanted. One file describes a subject who insisted they were a deceased Soviet officer and knew details that were later verified. The program vanished from records shortly afterward. Number 1. The Silent Watchers, Contact with the Unknown. At the top of all paranormal KGB projects lies one final mystery. A program rumored to involve contact with non-human intelligence through altered states of consciousness. not radio, not signals. The mind itself. Participants entered deep trance states and reported voices without sound, knowledge arriving whole, warnings about humanity's future. Some claimed the entities were not extraterrestrial, but interdimensional. The KGB terminated the program after participants began exhibiting identical symbols and drawings, despite never meeting each other. The meaning of those symbols is unknown, but every copy was destroyed. Almost. On December 26, 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. The KGB was officially dissolved. But intelligence agencies don't truly disappear. They evolve, change names, change methods. Many former KGB officers went on to shape modern Russian intelligence. Some programs may have ended. Others may simply be sleeping, waiting. Because the most dangerous secrets are not the ones we uncover, but the ones we're never allowed to find.